What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, y'all? So we back again for another episode review of the Real Housewives of Potomac season 10, episode 9, I believe. Girl, let's just get into it because I don't feel like being on here all day because this episode kind of irked me. Because at the end of the day, why is everybody so mad? I just don't understand. And the main person that I truly don't understand why is so mad, why are you so mad? Kiana, baby girl, I don't know who put a battery in your back this season. We know that the people said step it up a little bit, because you was kind of boring last season, which was fine. It wasn't saying that you was bad. You just was atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? We ain't say step it up like this, girlfriend. I'm pretty sure that's not what they said. If you're going to have an issue with somebody, have a legitimate issue. The way Kiana is going as Stacey, she acting as if Stacey Greg. And I'm sitting here like, damn, did that happen? Please let us know so we can understand where the vitriol was coming from. Because when Stacey came to that dinner, that little get together at the end of the episode, and she was like, I don't want to be here with that fraud ass bitch. And I'm sitting here like, and you know the way that she got her eyebrows painted on? Stop doing that. Keep the natural eyebrows that you had when you were sitting there with your parents, with your mama and your brother, okay? Because that's where you look your most beautiful. All of that makeup on your face, and which, fine, because the girls had that. But the way that y'all be painting these eyebrows on is so unnatural, and then you doing all of this angry stuff, and it's making you look so devilish. It's making you look evil. It's making you look villainous, okay? Villainous, that is, that's the word. And it's just like, girl, it's not added. It's taken away from the sweetness and the stuff that I liked about you before. Okay. And now the way that you're acting, it's just really like, girl, I don't understand. Mind you, I ain't nothing. I come to you straight face. It is what it is. But I'm just saying, I ain't no villain. Now, I mean, I'm not no villain. I'm a nice person. Girl, I can't tell what's going on with you. Baby, you need to go to therapy or something. You need to sit down and talk to somebody and get to the crux as to why Stacey bothers you so bad. Because at the end of the day, you are coming once again. You, Giselle, and Ashley are coming at Stacey as if Stacey did something so heinous and so personal to y'all. The only thing that Stacey did was lie about TJ. I can understand that. And even then, I would laugh at that because it's like, girl, what? Are you serious? Baby, when they did that stuff to Kenya lying about Walter, Kenya still say Walter was real. Girl, she gonna hold on to it. It wasn't this bad. Like, the people brought it up or whatever, but they still was cool with Kenya. And, they didn't take it so darn serious because they already knew what the hell it was. Okay? And they just let that move on. Yeah, they brought it up, but they wasn't so attacked. Unless I'm remembering things or whatever. I don't like it. It just don't. It seems so out of place, y'all. It just seems so out of place. And yes, we can admit that Stacey, again, you make yourself an easy target because you do lie. But at the same time, did she lie to you about something that is personal to you? Did she take your man and lie about it? Did she do something to your family and lie about it? No, she did not. So I just don't understand. And then bringing Sharice into the mix. Sharice, bitch, girl, and see, this is what irks me about this whole situation with Chris. And the whole situation with Chris and if she told and all this stuff. You got all of these people that are telling the group that Stacey allegedly told Chris about this conversation that they had with Monique and took the information back to Chris. Now, I'm not saying that Stacey didn't say something, but I just don't believe the way that they're putting it off that she did, okay? Because at this point, they're making it hard for me to believe that she did, okay? First of all, Stacey, if you did do that shit, you're foul as fuck. But at the same time, it just don't feel like it because you got all of the people that do not fuck with Monique that is really saying this. Mine is Kiana, okay? And it's like, Wendy literally stood there and told you that Monique said she don't fuck with Cookie because Cookie is a liar and Cookie, don't fuck with her. Cookie is besties with Chris. Monique and Chris, they don't fuck with each other like that, okay? We get that. Then you also get Sharice, who don't like Monique. Okay? And all of these people got Chris' number. Why? That should tell you something right then and there. Like, it just feels like he messy as hell too. Cause why you got all these women's numbers that don't fuck with your ex? Exactly. Okay. But and I know some people can feel some type of way about, placing a man above or whatever because Stacey said, you ain't got a husband to Kiana and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, y'all, Kiana making her storyline about Greg, okay? And they making it about Timo and all this stuff, and that's what they put they value in, so that's why it came through. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, Stacey got Kiana. Kiana, you look pathetic as hell. Okay? And you are such a disappointment out of everybody. Like, I expect this mess from Ashley and Giselle. But baby girl, after seeing you last season and the season before, I know you a rider, right? But you're a rider when it comes time to it. When Candace was about to get her head cracked in that goddamn club, you stepped up. I was cool with that because that was you needed somebody had to step up for the little girl because that little girl would have got hurt. Okay. But at the same time, where is the vitriol coming for Stacey? I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. And you're talking about something she's not to be trusted about. And Giselle saying the same thing, husbands and kids and all that stuff. And I would never have you around my husband. And then you getting your face cracked because she said you ain't got no husband. And then you want to throw in her face that she ain't got no man too. But bitch, y'all on the same even field. Y'all both got men, but y'all ain't married to them. At least Stacey was married to her man. And at this point, we don't know what the hell is going on with that. Truth be told, I think that's a farce too. Like, we just got to be honest, okay? And honestly, talking about why Timo won't be around. Timo don't want to be around y'all because one, Timo don't want to be on camera. That's the only thing that I can get. Y'all see how jittery he gets, okay? Timo don't want to be around y'all asses. That's just truth be told. That's just all that is that I can bring it up to. That's why Stacey be lying her ass off about bringing him around. Because he don't want to be around, okay? And 9 out of 10, he just don't want to be on camera. And he doing this just for Stacey. I don't understand why, but, because every time they're in the scene together, they're so freaking awkward, right? And it's just like, that's it. Come on, Arabella. Them two being together and they was doing a little piece and all that stuff. They cute or whatever, but it just seems like they're boring. And maybe, and I'm saying the relationship, like how did it get to the point where y'all been married all these years and then y'all get divorced, come back together? I don't know. And again, it could be because he's not comfortable on camera. Okay, so it gives off that and he's reserved. And I understand it because truth be told, I'm that same way. Bitch, I'm comfortable right here, right now doing this because I'm by myself, right? If somebody else probably was to be up in here doing this with me, bitch, the first 5-10 minutes of this goddamn video will probably be so goddamn awkward. And I know that y'all probably noticed this sometimes when I had used to do the little panels or interviews, whatever that I did back in the day for people, and I'll be quiet. And it took a minute for me to be like, actually warm up. That's how Timo is. And Timo just stays in that position. That's how I feel like it. And I'm like, Stacey, quit forcing that man on us. Stacey, you got to stop forcing these men on us. I'm telling you, TJ didn't work. Timo, we don't want to care, okay? We don't, okay? Let that go. Move on with that. We don't need him on the screen. I don't want to see him ever again on the screen. That's fine. No offense to Timo. It's just, it's very awkward, okay? But at the party, they're still doing all of this stuff. And then Stacey said, call the man up. So they call up, Sharice get on the phone and call up Chris. And he said, I don't know, nothing of shit that y'all talking about. And still, they don't believe it. They don't believe the girl. And Stacey, you can't 100%. Well, at that moment, I would have been like, okay, cool. I would have dropped it because this is the person that has said this. You know what I'm saying? This is the person that allegedly said this. You know what I'm saying? That, he's upset and was calling them and telling them that, Monique was talking about him, all that shit. So, yeah, I would believe that. But all this other stuff, Stacey, you do set yourself up because you have a history of lying. And that's why the girls don't really fuck, they kind of doubt you, even though you could be telling the truth. And 9 out of 10, you probably not. But in this situation, I do not feel like Stacey did anything. I do feel like in this situation with Chris, she is being set up. She is being set up by either Cookie or Kiana or Ashley or Giselle. I really feel like it. I really feel like it. Okay? Because it don't make no sense. It don't make no sense the way they're harping so much on this whole Chris situation. Because again, you know, and unless Stacey is stupid as hell and you already got the girls on your back, why put more heat on your back by going and telling that conversation to Chris? And I just find it so convenient that Kiana and Cookie was on the phone with each other when Chris just so happened to call and tell Cookie this, and Kiana, girl, what? Now, did Kiana actually hear Chris say this? Or did it come through Cookie and then Cookie told Kiana? Which one was it? Or was they on a three-way and both of them heard it? That's what I need to know. Because once we figure that out, then we can understand a whole bunch of stuff. Because like Monique said, that bitch can't be trusted. I don't fuck with that bitch, and that bitch don't fuck with me. She's a liar. Bitch, and come to find out, Cookie got a rap sheet. Bitch, Cookie, you don't fuck with Wendy, but girl, you got a rap sheet since the goddamn 90s from doing what? Stealing and fraud, bitch. Girl, they pulled that shit up on Twitter the other day. I said, goddamn, bitch, why you and Wendy ain't in the home? Y'all could have been besties. And you want to know why? Because Karen don't like her. Bitch, I feel like, and truth be told, what if it's Karen that's giving all this information? Because it brings back to what was revealed at the end of the episode about how all of this stuff was getting back to Chris before they started filming. Because, listen, Karen don't fuck with Wendy. And at this point, I'm pretty sure Karen don't fuck with Stacey. And who was the common denominator in this whole thing? Cookie. Girl, I done cracked the goddamn case, okay? You know, it's a whole bunch of possibilities. But again, Stacey, girl, I hope you learn your lesson and start telling the fucking truth. But then, yeah, you know, Giselle, you trying to usher the girl out. And it's like, come on now. At the end of the day, I just need y'all to kill it with a skillet because it's just getting tired. It's getting old. It's getting old. And again, Kiana, tell me what's going on, okay? Because help me to understand. Stacey and these goddamn gummies, from what I heard, the gummies are actually good and they actually out there. And honestly, you know, to be fair, everybody and their mama can do the gummies if they get approved or whatever. In the cannabis business, she's doing gummies. Eddie and them doing actual marijuana, right? So I mean, it's something for everybody. I don't know, but again, if Wendy ain't got a problem with it, she can dust that stuff off, and she ain't taking Stacey serious. Why is everybody else having a problem with it and taking it way too serious than the person who should be offended by it? Exactly, like calm the fuck down. And then Angel girl, you're falling flat too, bitch. If you come back for a next season, it's because they want rage bait. That's just all that it is. You know, usually I'd be like, maybe the new girls can come back and they can redeem themselves or whatever, get them another season. I don't want to see you again. Honestly, I don't. Especially if things don't turn around by the second half of the season. I don't want to see you again because this first half was an utter fucking flop. Because again, Giselle brought it up to Wendy that Angel got heat for her. And Angel said, no. Giselle brought the girl over and Wendy said, what's good? You got heat for me? What's good? Yeah, I feel like you so dismissive and I feel like this and I feel like that. Angel, oh my God. Angel gives me the type of person who wanted to be friends with everybody. She wanted everybody to like her when she was in school. Okay, and I'm talking about grammar school, elementary school, middle school, junior high, whichever one you want to call it, high school. She wanted everybody to like her. And if they didn't like her, not necessarily that they didn't like her, if they wasn't her friend, she'll feel some type of way and feel like you are just so mean and they didn't even do nothing to her. That's what she's giving. It's very fucking childish. And again, you are so bent out and bent on blaming Wendy for your issues that are so imaginary at this point. And I'm like, I hate to even put this out there, but is it because you're postpartum or something like that? I'm not understanding. What is Kiana over there telling you? What happened between y'all when y'all was up in Temple together? Mind you, you said that y'all didn't really interact like that. You knew of her, you saw her a few times, y'all wasn't friends in school or whatever. So if something happened in school, then I can understand, and you still holding a grudge because listen, Angel looks like, and as we can see, she can hold a grudge even if it's no grudge to be held. Okay? I can understand that. It's like we're missing some pieces because you up here talking about that Wendy was the one that brought up this catfish shit when in actuality it was Giselle. And what really pissed me off in that conversation was when Ashley said, so who said it? Who brought it up? Bitch, you and goddamn Giselle was the one that had the goddamn conversation and had the situation to us. Y'all talked about it first. Even before we didn't even know it was an issue. Giselle and Ashley had the conversation before they had it with the group. And they was like, we're going to figure out a way to bring it up to the group. How dare you stand there and act like you don't know who brought the fucking shit up? Wendy ain't know nothing about that. That was between you and Giselle. That was the issue that you and Giselle had with this girl. Okay? Giselle brought it up at the dinner. Wendy laughed just like everybody else did at that table. And you honed in on Wendy because she laughed, and maybe because she laughed the loudest, or that was the only one that you can hear? Or, well, I'm confused. And Giselle is telling you, I'm the one who brought it up. No. Wendy did. No. And we're seeing evidence that she didn't bring it up. Giselle brought it up, boo-boo. So let's come again. And then again, you get into this whole situation of, being in your feelings about Wendy not talking to you when you was in the airport, when y'all was going to Nevis or coming back from Nevis or whatever. And like Wendy said, well, if you saw me in the airport, you didn't speak. If you really wanted to speak to the girl, you could have spoke. And maybe she would have said, hey, girl, maybe she didn't see your ass. I don't know. But at the end of the day, it's childish as fuck, Angel. And it's flat. Your husband don't even care about it. She's being totally dismissive. And when Wendy said, because, bitch, we don't even want you here. And she started laughing. Bitch, you know what? Wendy ain't going nowhere. Wendy ain't going nowhere until she go to jail. And I hate to put that out there, baby. I would be so surprised if Wendy and Eddie don't go to jail. Baby, Eddie, take the fall for your lady, okay? That's the gentleman and the chivalrous thing to do. I'm just saying. I would be so surprised. No shade. And I don't want them to go to jail, but it's looking like they're very much going to jail, okay? If Karen could go to jail for what she did, bitch, and y'all got felony charges with an S, yeah, y'all going to jail, and it's not really looking good, but y'all ain't finna go there anytime soon, so they got at least 2 more seasons out of them, okay? Because I just seen somebody got a court case that's not coming up until 2027, and I said, God damn, bitch, at least y'all ain't being held without bail, okay, until the trial. Girl, they gonna still be here, all right? Just like when she popped up at BravoCon, I was shocked. I said, okay, girl. They're going to be here for at least a season and a half. We're going to see the whole thing. Meanwhile, what's going on? What else? Girl, Stacy wound up leaving. Whatever. We don't care. Fuck all that. Ashley and her mama having a little conversation. At the end of the day, Ashley and her mama been having the same conversation since they first got on this show. Okay? Ashley mama is with an ancient man. Okay? And 9 out of 10, given how light the kids is, he 9 out of 10 is a white man. And I have been seeing this like, girl, you are getting with the white person and you are literally up here doing all of the work like you're a slave. What the fuck is going on? And if it's different, I take that back. If he not a white person, I take that back. Okay? But I feel like that's just what it is. Because the other daughter, she look a little mixed too. Okay? She look around Ashley Huber Grant. They all look a little, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, you was up here working 10 to 12 hour days for a man that ain't gonna work. He's an alcoholic and he spitted up your money and you fixing his food and you clean up the house and you doing all of this stuff and all he doing is what? And this was going on for 23 years and then your health is all out of whack. Let me tell you something. 9 out of 10, her health is out of whack because she's not taking care of herself because she's stressed out. She want to get on this goddamn screen and act like, oh, I love to work. No, you saying that because you got to work because of that man. That's just what it is. My mama worked herself to the bone. That's the reason why my mama got sick. all of them years of her having to work so much and do all of the stuff that she did by herself caught up with her and caused her to have to slow the fuck down by having health issues. That's why my mama got sick. Stressed out and everything. Stress is a fucking killer, and it almost killed my mama. Okay? So I'm saying this for anybody that needs to hear that. That's why. All right? My mama had a heart attack. Actually, she had two. When she had that first one, bitch, she had another one a couple of days later. Bitch didn't even realize that was going on. Okay? It was mild. All right? They go in trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. Girl, there's no blockage. There's no nothing. Everything was fine. Bitch, stress. Okay? And you up here doing all of this for this man for 23 goddamn years and all he doing is drinking on his ass? And if he a white man, bitch, what the fuck is going on? I am so tired of seeing the black women coming out here getting played by these white men. And I'm only saying that because, again, the Danish deception keeps coming up. You ain't on TikTok, you don't know. Okay? But I did a video on it, like I said. It keeps playing a part. It'll keep playing a part. Why? Baby, you listen, what the fuck is going on? Okay? No shade. If I'm getting with somebody that's non-black, baby, you gonna take care of me. You gonna take care of me, bitch. That's the whole reason. But yeah, they've been doing this for the whole time they've been on here. That lady is not leaving that man until that man passed away on his own. He probably got cirrhosis of the liver. We don't even know. Okay, is his eyes yellow? We don't know. Moving on from that, what was going on? Kiana had a conversation with her brother. First of all, the whole family fine. Kiana, god damn it. And see, that's what pisses me off. I can admit I'm a little shallow sometimes when it comes to, bitch, I get certain people a pass just because they look good. But let me tell you something. Kiana, you done got on my nerves so goddamn bad, I can't even give you no pass no more because I just don't understand no more, okay? But you fan as fuck, your mama fan as fuck, and your brother fan as fuck too, and it's coming from a gay bitch, okay? The whole goddamn, what the daddy look like, bitch? I just need to see a picture, okay? Because goddamn, I'm sitting there looking like, shit. Fuck. And you gonna get with Greg? You are settling for Greg? You're settling for a man who probably got 3 kids and wants you to move back into the house so that you could be a babysitter to them? That's basically what it is. He don't want to give you a ring just yet, but he want to buy your condo. I was with the mama. Wait a minute. So he want to buy your condo, but he don't want to get you a ring first or whatever. She was like, it never was about the ring. That's not why I left in the first place. That is why you left. Okay? Mind you, I'm not even home, I don't give a fuck about marriage like that, meaning that I'm not the type of person I'm finna get into a relationship and I have to be married. No, but I see some of you girls do. Okay, and Kiana, you're one of those girls that wants to be married, and you're settling as if you don't deserve better. You deserve so much better. Okay, girl, what the fuck is going on? And I feel like that's what's pissing me off about you too, girl. You're letting this man play you, and he is playing you like a fiddle. And he ain't got to be cheating on you or nothing like that. He just knows that he can take you out when he needs to take you out and put you back when he could put you back, because you're going to always still be there. Is the dick that good? I'm confused. Because that hairline don't make it look like it is. I'm just confused, okay? But, hey, it is what it is. Meanwhile, the two ladies, okay, we had the houses, the girls are grouped up and it's split. So they having a conversation. We got Angel. She got her little situation. The majority of the girls go over to the Angel house. Giselle, Ashley, Angel, Kiana, I believe, and Tia, okay? And then you got Jazzy, Stacy, and Wendy over there at Jazzy Place, okay? And they're talking about everything that we talked about. This whole situation with what went down at Giselle event. And basically what we all come down to is that nobody trusts Stacy. And Stacy said, bitch, I'll meet up with Monique to talk to her. Okay? I'll meet up with Monique to talk to her. I ain't got nothing to hide. All right, it is what it is. And I was like, oh, we big and bad. I said, now listen, on one hand, I was like, see, if she want to meet up with her, obviously she didn't do it. And I said, Ashley, pump the brakes. Because we done seen this time and time again where motherfuckers want to be big and bad and thinking that people going to call their bluff. And they be like, well, let me meet the person. Let me meet the person. We can talk in face to face and I can show them and all that. And then come to find out they were still lying the whole time. Yeah, that's just what it is, okay? But I'm going to tell you this. Giselle, Ashley, Kiana, and Angel, they're being mean girls. They're being mean girls, okay, to Stacey. And it's very much, it's too much, okay? I can be it because it's not fun. If it was being, we can tell that when it's fun shade and when they're not taking it serious, they're taking it serious. And then Tia, you putting yourself into it. Tia, don't do that, girlfriend. Do not do that, girlfriend. Okay, don't do that. Meanwhile, at the end of the day, Kiana, you probably upset too because Stacey got your ass. Stacey got your ass. Okay, and so let's just fast forward to the end. We get to the end, right? And they having this get together. And at first, I didn't think that, all of them was going to get together with Monique at the same time. I thought Stacey was going to have a little conversation with Monique by herself. You know what I'm saying? But no. So who was there? I believe it was Giselle, Ashley, or was it Wendy? No, Kiana and Wendy and Monique with Stacey. So Kiana and Ashley showed up first. She got some shit to say. Then Monique shows up. And then Stacey and Wendy shows up. Well, before that, Wendy had showed up first and told Kiana, like, Stacey said she'll talk to Monique, no problem, but she just don't want to have a conversation with you, Kiana. That's fine, because I don't want to talk to that fraud ass bitch. And I said, God damn, bitch, what's going on? That was way too much. And like, you keep proving what Stacey said, bitch. She got you pressed. For what reason? I don't understand, because it's fucking Stacey. I would never let a bitch like that get me pressed. I'm just saying, bitch, I would laugh in Stacey's face, okay? Girl, sit your ass down. That's all I say. I wouldn't be able to take her serious, okay? Like, no, I can't wait to see when her and Stacey and Tia gets into it. And Tia said, I am actual prim and proper. You can take that voice off of you. That was funny. I said, damn, Tia. Okay, I liked that. But anyway, yeah, so Stacey shows up and Kiana was like, that's fine, I don't have to sit here and talk or whatever because I want to go to the bar and I don't want to be here and all this. Okay, go get the fuck on. Okay. And so at the end of the day, what we got out of this conversation is that Chris is a messy bitch. That's all that I got from it. And I was trying to follow it and I'm sitting here like, basically, they wanted to be Stacey so bad that it's the one that was up there talking to Chris and telling the business and all of that stuff, right? Okay. Sharice also said that she didn't like Stacey because they had went out or some shit and there was some two dudes that was trying to talk to them and one dude was married and Stacey had said, tried to go over there and talk to the married dude. They was like, oh, he married. She was like, that ain't my problem. Truth be told, she ain't lying. That's because what the fuck are you doing there trying to pick up women? But at the same time, Stacey, you a gutter bitch if that's the case. She said, bitch, I'm from Detroit. What the fuck you thought? I said, bitch, I ain't got those problems. Maybe I'm looking at it because I'm gay. Now, unless Stacey want to go on to the other side, you would take my bitch too. What's going on, Stacey? But I feel like I'm safe, so maybe that's where I'm coming from. Maybe you straight girls ain't. I don't know. Had your husband, had your kids, because she gonna take them. I don't know, bitch. But anyway, so, shout out to Anton Dawson for that. Anyway, so they sit there, and Monique basically, was like, I'm trying to get everything that happened. And Ashley is sitting there too. And again, Ashley is the type, she ain't got nothing else to do, right? She has no storyline. We don't give a fuck about what she got going on because she has nothing going on. Giselle has no storyline. But unfortunately, Giselle is an anchor and because Karen is not there. That's why she's still here, to be quite honest, okay? And she's a stable and I guess a fan favorite to some people, I guess. But Ashley is not likable. Ashley has no storyline. Ashley is messy as hell. And Ashley, again, has misplaced anger towards Stacey for what reason? All because she lied about being with TJ. Who gives a fuck? We established that that was a lie. Can we move on from it? Okay? She has yet to do anything for real to you, for you to sit there and to just be so irked by everything that she does. I just don't understand it, bitch. Can we not have fun? Can we not have fun? Okay? Meanwhile, Monique said, before we get started, I just need to know who said what, because at the same time, Chris is messy as fuck. And y'all don't understand that there's been a whole bunch of shit that has been going on behind the scenes that y'all don't know about coming from his ass. And so he could be just as fucking messy. And I'm sitting here like, listen to what she's saying. Whole time while Monique is talking and explaining that she don't fuck with Chris like that because he's a messy bitch. And that's why she said, she looked at Stacey and she was like, that's why I said, be careful what you do with this motherfucker, because now he want to put you into his circle of messiness, because that's literally what it seems like was going on. And at the same time, she said she don't fuck with Sharice and she don't fuck with Cookie. So all of the people that y'all are bringing up to her to justify this whole information that allegedly Stacey was the one that did all of this stuff, Monique don't even fucking trust them. And that should tell you something. And of course, we're still going to go on this whole thing of being adamant about it being Stacey that told Chris this information, even though you heard on the phone that Chris said it wasn't Stacey. Mind you, when Sharice called Chris, what did she say? She said, we're filming. She said, I'm filming right now. She didn't say all who was there, okay? She didn't say all who was there. And he still said, man, yeah, no, I don't know what the fuck you talking about. None of that shit that you talking about, okay? Now, unless he know not to say shit to get himself caught up, maybe, but I just feel like he ain't that smart to do some shit like that. I'm no shade. Like I said, he's a messy bitch. That's what he feels like, because coming from Monique, that's what it sounded like. All right. And so Stacey wound up showing text messages about how he had texted her a picture of a cover that her and her daughter did and said, beautiful. She said, I didn't respond. He texted back and said, thank you would be appropriate. She didn't respond. He said some other stuff to her. She didn't respond. And she showed it to, what's her name? Monique. And when she showed it to her, and it was June 1st and all that stuff. So this is prior to them filming and everything, right? And so at the same time, you got Ashley sitting over there like, she's still not believing it, rolling her eyes and just being, because she just wants Stacey to be wrong so bad. She just wants Stacey to be the villain so bad in whatever imaginary story that she got, that she wants to come up into the in the confessionals, be like, we all know how text messages work. She could have just deleted them and all this stuff, whatever. Could have. But at the same time, take from that whole conversation, I don't give a fuck what Stacey got to say. I'm going to listen to the ex-wife, okay? And the ex-wife said the nigga is messy, okay? The ex-wife said Cookie can't be trusted. The ex-wife said she don't fuck with Sharice. And that bitch can't be trusted either when it comes to her either. So I'm going to listen to the ex-wife. Granted, Monique said we're going to find out who the fuck lying, and that Stacey going to have to learn to keep up with her lies as she do. Listen to that shit. It's all going to come out. But at this moment in time, we still don't know who said anything. And like Wendy said at that table, I don't feel it was anybody here at this particular table right now between Ashley, Monique, Stacey, and Wendy who would sit at that table that sent or said anything to Chris. The only person that wasn't at that table was Kiana. And it does make sense that one, Kiana could have did it because one, Kiana and Cookie don't fuck with Stacey. We saw how vitriolic she been to Stacey. It didn't make sense. Okay? Sharice don't like Stacey. Could have told him. She could have told him. Okay? Sharice and Cookie cool too. So there's that. Also, like she said, Giselle don't fuck with her, and Giselle just messy as hell, and Giselle has lied before too. Okay. Also, Angel, that one I don't know too much about. And I get that they're football husbands and all that shit or whatever, but I don't think Angel had anything to do with it. She just anyway, yeah, no. But yeah, I need them to go ahead and just leave that lady alone and come up with something else. It was entertaining, but now it's getting a little irky, okay? Because it's misplaced. It's a little bit too much. Have fun with it. Y'all taking it too serious. That's my problem. I ain't got no problem with y'all calling the bitch a liar, because liar is. Okay, she is a liar. But y'all doing a little bit too much. Y'all being way too serious with it, okay? Because she ain't lying about no big shit. She lying about stupid little shit. And I'm like, damn, Stacey, just tell the goddamn truth, okay? You see how I ain't upset? Because, bitch, tell the fucking truth. She ain't my fucking friend. And Wendy and her mama, Wendy, I felt you with that whole conversation with about your daddy. You ain't seen that man in 20 years. Your sister ain't seen that man in 20 years. And I understand where Ivy is coming from when you said you want to see your daddy. You want to have that conversation. You want him to want you or whatever. But your sister, on the other hand, is like just basically accepted the fact that fuck that nigga. Because I was both of y'all. Okay? I ain't seen that man in so long. Didn't have a relationship with my father like that, right? Y'all know he dead too, okay? And I'm going to tell you this, never cried for that man when he passed. And I always thought that there was something wrong with me. And my mama said it's already because you've already basically, he was practically dead to you already. Y'all didn't have no relationship. And what really stuck out about that whole situation, and it could have changed before he passed away, is because he literally had a relationship with my mom. And they were cool. He talked to my mom way more than he ever spoke to us. And then my mama had always said, why don't you speak to your kids? Why don't you speak to your kids? My mama wasn't friends with him. He would always reach out to her. So don't get that twisted, okay? He wound up reaching out to my mama and asking, wound up saying something about how he wished he would have did better or been more in the girls' lives and all this stuff, whatever. And my mama literally said, why are you telling me this? Tell them that. Never had a call. Okay? And this whole birthday thing, I remember the birthday before when he passed that year, he eventually sent me a text probably like a couple of days after my birthday. The year before that, he didn't send me nothing. Oh, that shit pissed me off. That shit hurt me so bad. Bitch. I mean, I granted we ain't had no relationship or whatever, but at least a birthday text could have said, at least you remember that? Because you said something to my sister. See, that's why it hurt. And so, I get where Wendy coming from. But sometimes it's just like we already got to automatically had a burial in your mind already for that person. And that's probably 9 out of 10 why I did not cry and don't feel nothing when speaking to him. Like, y'all seen me get emotional when I speak about my uncle, when I speak about my mama. When I speak about him, absolutely the fuck not. Okay? The one time that I did cry about the whole situation was the first Father's Day after he died. And that was because it was like, I never got that whole situation. Like, because I'm seeing all these people with this shit. And it's like, I'm not mourning him. It's just that I wish I had something like that. But I'll never get it now. Because my mama wouldn't go marry somebody. My mama, and see, I'm going to give her some heat too. My mama used to have niggas, okay? And I know, and they wanted to marry her down. I was like, we could have had a stepdaddy. Bitch, what's going on? I blame her. I could have had a stepdaddy. But, she said, bitch, that ain't what I wanted. I said, all right, fuck you. But anyway, yeah, and then her mama coming up there, Miss Mamas, you ain't making no better for Wendy. I'm telling you, because when you said, look what you did, you're successful, and look, I'm spending your money, girl, I started thinking, maybe she scammed all that shit and she got it from her mama. And was giving some of that money that she was scamming to her mama. What if they had a conversation with the mama and the mama said, go ahead and put that down there. Bitch, everybody is in cahoots. Anyway, y'all enjoy y'all week. Please be safe out there, especially if you're in the Midwest and it's snowing. Because, girl, we got a snowstorm this past weekend. And, bitch, I got called in it yesterday. I was so mad. Girl, it was snowing so much, but I'm pretty sure by the end of the week, this shit ain't even gonna look like nothing. But you guys, be safe, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.